The Book of Jubilees, the forgotten mysteries of the beginning of creation. What if everything we know about the opening chapters of the Bible represents only part of the story? What if an ancient text claimed that many significant events surrounding creation, the origin of humanity, and God's earliest commandments were no longer preserved in most versions of the Bible today? This is precisely what makes the Book of Jubilees one of the most controversial religious writings in history. Still recognized as canonical scripture by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, this ancient work claims to preserve divine revelations that fill many of the gaps left in the books of Genesis and Exodus. Unlike conventional religious writings, the Book of Jubilees presents human history from a much broader perspective. According to this text, every event on earth reflects a divine plan established in heaven. From the creation of the universe and the origin of the angels to the establishment of time itself and God's covenants with the patriarchs, everything unfolds according to a sacred order predetermined by God. Because of these distinctive teachings, the Book of Jubilees has remained the subject of debate for centuries. Many scholars and believers regard it as an invaluable key to understanding the worldview of ancient Judaism, while others believe it introduces ideas that extend beyond the teachings found in the traditional biblical canon. Why, then, did a book once treasured by many early communities of believers disappear from nearly every modern Bible? Are its accounts merely ancient legends? Or do they preserve a very old religious tradition that has gradually faded from memory? In this journey, we will explore the Book of Jubilees' most remarkable teachings and compare them with the familiar biblical narratives, highlighting both their striking similarities and fascinating differences. A world created according to a predetermined order. Like the Book of Genesis, the Book of Jubilees begins with God's creation of heaven and earth in 6 days. Yet from its opening chapters, it expands the creation narrative in a profoundly different direction. According to Jubilees, creation was not limited to forming the heavens, the earth, plants, and every living creature. More importantly, God established a complete system governing the entire universe. Time, the seasons, the annual cycles, and the sacred festivals were all ordained from the very beginning of creation. This means that time is not merely a human invention or convention. Instead, it is an integral part of God's creative work. Every day, every week, and every season carries spiritual significance, reflecting the perfect order established by the Creator. The Book of Jubilees teaches that humanity remains in harmony with God's will only by living according to this divine order. Conversely, altering or disregarding the system of time God established brings consequences far beyond calendar confusion. It disrupts humanity's spiritual relationship with Him. This theme runs throughout the entire book and represents one of its most distinctive differences from the Book of Genesis. The angels appeared on the first day of creation. Another remarkable feature of the Book of Jubilees is the prominent role assigned to the angels. While Genesis offers little information about when the angels were created, Jubilees states that they came into existence on the very first day of creation. According to this text, the angels are far more than divine messengers. They serve in God's heavenly court, carrying out various responsibilities necessary to maintain the order of the universe. Some angels oversee the laws of nature, supervising the movements of the sun, the moon, and the stars. Others are entrusted with regulating the seasons and ensuring that every cycle of time unfolds exactly according to God's design. There are also angels responsible for communicating God's will to humanity, protecting the righteous, and safeguarding the heavenly laws recorded in the courts of heaven. The Book of Jubilees portrays the universe as operating with intentional order rather than by chance. Behind every natural phenomenon stands the administration of spiritual beings faithfully carrying out God's commands. For this reason, the stability of creation reflects the unwavering faithfulness of the angels to their Creator. the concept of sacred time. Another central theme emphasized throughout the Book of Jubilees is the concept of sacred time. According to the book, God not only created time but also set apart specific periods for holy purposes. The Sabbath, the appointed festivals, and the Jubilee years were not human inventions, but were established from the very foundation of the world. As a result, keeping time becomes far more than a matter of history or astronomy. It becomes a deeply spiritual responsibility. Those who faithfully observe the cycles God ordained live in harmony with the order of heaven. Those who alter the calendar gradually distance themselves from God's original design. This conviction forms the foundation of the unique calendar system presented throughout the Book of Jubilees. The 364-day calendar, a perfect system of time. Unlike many ancient civilizations that followed lunar or lunisolar calendars, the Book of Jubilees declares that God established a year consisting of exactly 364 days. The year is divided into 4 equal seasons. Each season contains 91 days. Together, they form 52 complete weeks. Under this arrangement, every Sabbath and every sacred festival always falls on the same day each year, eliminating the need for calendar adjustments. The Book of Jubilees presents this as the perfect calendar because it reflects the divine order of heaven. By contrast, calendars based on the lunar cycle are portrayed as the reason many sacred festivals eventually shifted from their appointed times. When that happens, people no longer celebrate God's holy days according to His original command. According to the author of Jubilees, this is not merely a calendrical mistake. It is evidence that humanity has gradually drifted away from God's divine plan. This teaching became one of the book's most controversial ideas because it differs significantly from the calendar later adopted by most Jewish communities.